Good morning, everybody. I hope you all are well. We had an August meeting, and I think the minutes might need sent out still. So we are not going to be able to have that on our agenda.
I think the meeting minutes did go out. Derek forwarded me a copy earlier.
Derek sent those out on Friday in an email.
This past Friday?
Friday, September 10th, yeah.
I did not get that.
Well, maybe we'll just wait till September then if necessary, and then everybody will have a chance to review them.
Yeah, I didn't receive it too.
I think there's, some weird stuff going on with email. I don't know what, but, from it seems from everybody that some people didn't get today's invite, even though it was sent out. And obviously I didn't get the minutes. So, and I know it's always usually one email. So we'll just blame Chatham's PWSA project because they've popped into the internet lines a few times now. And I know there's been lots of problems here with our issues due to that. Thanks, Brian. So like Lisa suggested, we can table the minutes until next month and we can go on to the next agenda item.
Is that report? I can't see it. I'm sorry.
Yeah, neither. My computer is being a little temperamental right now.
Okay.
I'm just gonna say real quick to everybody, since this might be a Chatham thing. My last day at Chatham is is in 2 Fridays. I'm going to Duquesne University, so maybe Chatham's just taken off my internet, or maybe it's because all of a sudden we now have like 900 students here, and they are all playing video games on their computers and what have you. So I keep getting kicked off also of Teams meetings and stuff. So my apologies.
Okay.
Congratulations.
All right. So is the next item forestry reports? I'm sorry, I can't see this.
Yep, neither can I. Sure.
Okay. Okay. So, hi everybody. We had a crazy August as far as storm response goes. We were basically got hit with a couple storms, so we were working on just storm response. We're also now deep into fall planting prep, so our crews have been supporting our partner organizations with doing stump removals for new trees and tree pits, doing invasive removal so we can do additional plantings along the trails. And we will also be supporting the projects coming up with digging holes and watering and that type of thing. So it's exciting for us. So we are, hoping to keep moving forward with our 311 requests and our constituent services. But right now with the storm and Revitalize, there's just a lot of other side projects kind of going on. Secondly, I guess I want to cover something under new business, so hopefully nobody has to leave off the meeting. So if you do, let me know. But I been working with the rangers, and they are looking to have the Shade Tree Commission support a tree planting project with some school children up in Shenley Park at an oak wilt site. They've been systematically working every spring and fall to repopulate the area. We have taken down about 60 or so large oak trees in this area due to oak wilt. So we're slowly but surely repopulating with age diversity, species diversity. So they are looking to have the commission support a planting up to $1,000, and that would be the city purchasing the trees and the mulch and soil and support and coordinating delivery at the park for that. So that's one thing I want to throw out there for consideration. And then lastly, last month, I was asked, we were talking about the Shade Tree Commission budget. And I don't know if we want to go over that now, or if maybe that's something Alicia will be reporting out about what we have currently in the budget. And then what we have that I was saying was for lack of a better term, earmarked, or things that we had talked about setting aside money or committing funds to. So I don't know if we want to talk about that now, or we can wait until Alicia does. It might be easier. And that's pretty much all that we have that we're working on right now. We've working on some RFPs for bid work for all of our winter pruning. We just put out about 5 contracts that'll start the end of this season now and roll into the fall, and over winter we at least have the locations and the new POs will be issued, but we are spending close to $100,000 on pruning throughout various parks and city streets, and then we're going to be doing some removals too. So we've been quite busy. But that's all I have to report.
Sounds very busy. So as long as nobody's going to be leaving, we can do a vote for the Shenley Park Oakville replenishment during the new business. Cool with everyone? Still everyone's staying on? All right, awesome sauce. Matt, would you like to give a Tree Pittsburgh report?
Can I just ask if the utility arbors can do a report under forestry?
Yeah,
Or is it-
I'm here. Hi, everyone. So we have a number of projects that are coming up right now. As most of you are aware, the Maryland Avenue Stormwater Project is still in progress. We met with them regarding tree protection and preservation for one of the mature linden trees, and they're beginning removals on the trees that were slated today. Thomas and McPherson, we are working on getting their tree protection up to the standards that we want them to have it at. Because the project was designed a couple of years ago, there wasn't really sufficient space for the specifications that we have now. But what we've done is we've got them to put all of their materials onto pallets or sleds to reduce compaction, and they're going to be moving all of their material storage into areas that have already been disturbed for the remainder of the project. So we've got a temporary area there, but it's coming along nicely, and we're managing with the neighborhood groups. There's also Columbia Gas and PWSA again doing some work on the south side, and we had a near miss with People's Gas on a communications breakdown, but we managed to save about 270 inches of canopy up on Ingham on the north side with some red oaks.
That's awesome. Congratulations. It's nice when we get to save them and not have to see them go. Did you have anything else you wanted to say, Michael or Lisa?
Nope.
No,
Matt?
not for me.
All right, Matt, would you like to share any updates?
Yeah, thanks. We are plugging away, getting ready for fall planting season. We're starting the season a little bit early at Tree Pittsburgh to try to, work with the restrictions that the pandemic have presented in many ways of organizing tree plantings. So we have over 1,000 trees going into the ground in the city this fall, from trees in the Seldom Seen Greenway and Beachview to tree plantings in relief communities in Lawrenceville, Manchester, and Hazelwood. So lots of great plantings happening this fall, lots of tree adoptions as well. So we'll be in several city neighborhoods where folks can sign up and receive a free tree to plant in their yard. So we will be promoting that heavily here via social media and community partners. So working with other community groups that can help get the word out to the residents in those neighborhoods. And that's all for my updates today.
That's really awesome. And I want to give you guys a plug too. If anybody wants to donate to True Pittsburgh, they're doing a really cool, it's on their social media where you can be a perennial sponsor. And, we like to help our folks out. So if you wanted to take a look at their website, you can see if that's something you'd be interested in doing. So thank you, Matt. And City departments. Rebecca, did you have anything that you wanted to share?
Sure. I think I've mentioned it before, but we officially announced yesterday a new $433,000 grant from the National Recreation and Parks Association, which will be administered through the One PGH Fund. So this grant will take our Greenways pilot project that we've been working on in the Hazelwood Greenway and turn it into a 2.5-year program. We'll also be able to hire a staff person at the One PGH Fund to operate that program, and to look at getting or replenishing funding and creating a sustainable program through carbon credits for some of those properties. So that's super exciting. The Hazelwood Greenway pilot project is still going on. So we've had goats there twice. Land Force has created a new trail and done some maintenance to a 2-acre site that's been cleared by the goats. And then we're working with Tree Pittsburgh in the fall to replant that site, which will be super exciting. And then Mike and Lisa and I worked with a team from Google on an environmental insights explorer, which I can. We don't have a link, but if you go to the city's website, under city planning, under sustainability and resilience, there's a new tool where you can actually see the city's tree canopy, and you can kind of drill down into at the individual tree level. They use aerial data. So that's kind of cool. It also juxtaposes it with air quality, heat areas. So urban heat islands, and a couple of other factors too. That's all I got.
That's a lot. That's awesome. Thank you for sharing. Congratulations.
Can I just add too that we're also working on the Cities for Forest call to action that the mayor is going to be signing on to, and I think we probably could report back on that in probably October, right, Rebecca, when we get it wrapped up.
Yep. Yeah, we should be sending in an application today, but we would be joining a cohort of cities that's operated through the World Resources Institute, and it's called Cities for Forests.
That's great. Thanks, guys. Very exciting. Andrea is not with us today. Would anybody else have anything they would like to share under the report portion of our meeting today? All I hear is beeping, so I'm going to assume that's a no, and that we can move.
All right.
No worries.
I have a question. I just wanted to maybe ask Brian about the spotted lanternfly. We've been getting a lot of calls into the city, and we've been sending those off to the state. But I was just wondering if you have any updates on that, Brian.
Nothing new on it. It's here. So the county is in the quarantine zone, along with Beaver and Westmoreland counties out in this area. And essentially what that means is, individuals can still self-report via the online tool where, sticks it on the map for Department of Agriculture. But that reporting is not absolutely necessary, since it's the whole county is included in the quarantine at this point. So the only, all we say is this, if you see it, whatever efforts to smush them and eliminate them is always helpful. And just kind of general information, they can always go to the Extinction website, and the banner at the top of the page is still there to get to the spotted lanternfly page, and that has links to all the relevant information for homeowners as well as for businesses, regarding some of the permitting stuff for businesses.
Thanks, Brian. So I think like 2 weeks ago, I did one of the fun Penn State Extension pesticide classes, and they had all different spotted lanternfly information on it. But it was like amazing because this weekend I was downtown right by PPG Place, and those little ugly red-eyed buggers were all over the concrete and one of the parking, pay to park towers. There wasn't a tree in sight. So it's super duper easy to report. It took me about 25 seconds. And I went to the, I think the PA Department of Agriculture website and just clicked on the link and gave them my name and information. And that was it. It took literally about 2 minutes. And I think the number is what, 1-888 bad bugs.
Yeah, something like that. The phone number, I can't remember exactly off the top of my head if that's the number.
Hold on, I have it on my phone.
And the website, the reporting website, I know you can access through the extension website, extension.psu.edu/SLF.
It is. It's 1-888 bad fly. And like Brian said, you can just go right on there and click it. If you don't want to call on the telephone, and it takes about, I don't know, 2 minutes.
Yeah, it's similar to like, if you're putting a report in through like the City 311 type of system, just asking for the location and if you saw the bug and you put that in. And the other thing to mention, since Kristen, you mentioned seeing them, nowhere near a tree. Just as a reminder, because they will kind of hang out just about anywhere they like. Many surfaces, including metal surfaces in particular. So we're often on lookout for them laying eggs on any number of surfaces, not just on trees.
And they hop. They don't fly, but those puppies can hop far. And I definitely squealed. Definitely squealed.
Yeah, they'll fly. They fly very poorly and will run into you.
So thank you, Brian. And if anybody, I know Matt had found one downtown. I know they were found at City County building. I know there's a ton at Public Works in the north side.
Yeah.
Pittsburgh Park Rangers and ACCD, I think, does 2 really good Instagram pages where they are constantly talking about it. And I can try and put something up on the Shade Tree Commission's website, like later on today, or not the website, but the Instagram account, as another resource. So shame on me for not doing it sooner. And thanks for bringing it out and about, Lisa.
Hey, Allie was our intern over the summer, and she made like a little infographic or something that we have access to, but I think she posted it on our Instagram page. So I thought
she did it was gypsy moth, I thought, or something else. I didn't think it was the lantern fly.
Pretty sure it was the lantern fly. I can dig it up and double check.
Just kidding. Then we can just repost it.
Yeah.
Thank you for the reminder. But or maybe it didn't get posted.
Okay.
So it was okay. Asian Longhorn. That's awesome. If you want to send it over, or if you know we'll take care of it today.
I'll look it up.
Thank you.
And if you need any printed materials, information on spotted lanternfly, I have a lot of that available. We have a brochure for homeowners, a brochure for businesses, and then some other printed information, and some materials for the kids too. Some spotted lanternfly headbands.
I want a spotted lanternfly headband.
Yeah.
I mean, hello, I'm a kid. That's really awesome. And another addition to just include with that, lost my train of thought. So just kidding. All right. So now that we have talked about that pretty ugly, bad bug, we can move on to the next agenda item, unless somebody wants to add something else to utilities, which is canopy impacts.
So,
thank you,
as Michael
Lisa.
indicated, I guess we were able to circumvent a project with the gas company. I think we now have a better open line of communication there. So we were able to, you know, preserve some canopy. The city's looking at some projects now, one of them being our new expansion of the firing range. There's a lot of canopy slated for removal there. We're getting a copy of the tree survey now, but you know, it looks like it's hundreds of inches of canopy that would be impacted by the reconfiguration of the firing range over in Highland Park. So we're going to try to work with the department to see what we can do. There is plantings going back there. I haven't really had a chance to see the actual site plan to see if there's any wiggle room to do anything there, but that's one project that I guess we'll be reviewing and looking closer at with you know, in-house, interdepartmentally. Also looking at a project right now that's coming through zoning that is 12, I believe, lots that are sort of intermittent, scattered throughout Garfield. There's close to 100 inches in canopy for existing trees that are in the middle of footprints, and we're trying now to see if some of those trees can be preserved on the site rather than be removed, but there isn't really room to plant back on those lots, you know, all the amount of inches that are coming out, so there'll probably be opportunity to do more planting in open spaces around Garfield. So those are two projects that I kind of have on my radar right now. I have something I probably can report on the Hazelwood project, the Hazelwood Woods residential project. Still sort of doing a peripheral review of that, and I'll be able to report more on that probably next month.
Awesome, thank you. Any other well, just a random question from me. So if it's private property, though it's in the city of Pittsburgh, it's still supposed to be reported to you guys when they take down a bunch of trees. Is that correct?
Well, part of the zoning development review process requires a tree survey if there are trees on site that are over 12 inches in diameter, and then they have to either be mitigated, alternative compliance, or a planting plan to put back onto the property. Yeah, so it does have to be reported if it's coming through the ZDR process.
So for, you know, I'm sure I should talk to you about this personally, but since we're all here, it might be a learning curve for everyone. One of the residences that lives on campus, she passed away last summer. A developer bought her house. It's at the very beginning of campus, and they took down 3 massive truckloads of trees. And I about cried. Well, I did. And, you know, they don't present anything to the university, though the university has to present everything to them. And I was told by my boss that since it's private, that they didn't have to report it to you. But every single one of those trees was a lot more than 12 inches. And now, of course, we're having more water down at campus when we're doing this PWSA project that's supposed to stop the water from going to Shady Side. So I don't know if I get you the developer's name, if we could go backwards, or if it's just something that I have to close my eyes when I walk past because it's too late.
Well, I can talk to you offline on that, but what should have happened is whenever they submit their plans to the zoning department for approval, they might have just said that it's a residential renovation, something like that, and didn't indicate anything about the trees. Unless the trees are within the footprint of a new, like, say, for example, they were going to expand a driveway or they were going to do a room addition or anything like that, it wouldn't be something that we would catch necessarily. But, you know, I'm happy to look into it further if you want to talk offline and give me the name or the address, and I can look at it from, you know, from the zoning side of things and see what's going on with that. So anyway.
Thank you, Lisa.
Hey, for some of these public projects, would it make sense, like, do we do things like send letters, like, or, you know, as an advisory commission of the city, like, we're aware of X amount of acres of tree canopy loss and would support some kind of workaround or urge you not to sell this property, etc. Is that like something that maybe we should think about doing more often?
I know the Shade Tree Commission, we did that several times in the past, although it was limited. I know we would send it to the zoning commission for consideration. And I think there's been a few times where we sent things on to the mayor's office, which ended up resulting in additional conversations about the tree protection. One thing that comes to mind is the Housing Authority project on Broad Street behind Target. We were able to get more involved in the tree removal process there, and hence we ended up saving trees. So I think, you know, it's not something that, I mean, it's a great idea anytime we can, you know, show support for something. I just think that, you know, in the case of an interdepartmental situation where we have the police department, you know, redesigning the firing range, we're just at the beginning stages of that. And I think, you know, I don't know what the end result's going to be. I mean, that's their maximum ask. I don't know, you know, what we'll be able to do there, if anything. But I mean, it wouldn't hurt, I guess, if I could, you know, tell you some specific projects where I think I'm getting pushback and such, that maybe we could send along a support letter and see if it, you know, evolves into longer conversations.
I think that would
Okay.
be really great. Thank you, Rebecca and Lisa.
Mhm.
Yeah, I was thinking about, there's a couple that have popped up. There's that Hazelwood, Woods development, Woods House development or something is one of them, where the
Yeah.
city is transferring some 6 acres, I think, that's next to
Yeah.
the Hazelwood Greenway, but had been held for greenways at some point. So
Yeah.
that's one. And then to the URA, I don't know how that, I think there was a vote last week. I don't know how that went. And
Yeah,
then
I think the vote was just an option for them to purchase the land. But see, that's sort of in the very preliminary stages. So we could send a letter, but there isn't really been something that's gone through the ZDR to even start that process. If that makes sense.
okay. And then I think there's another one with Frick, Somerset at Frick Park. I think phase 3 is another one that I keep hearing pop up.
Okay. Okay.
All right, thanks, guys. If anybody else, does anyone have anything to add to the canopy impact portion of our meeting? All right, the next number would be our Shade Tree Trust Fund update. Alicia, would you care to share?
Hey, good morning. Yes, I sure would. From the City Department of Public Works' finance manager, the current balance in our trust fund is $592,000 or $592,707.51. Lisa and I have been working on a list of all of the items that we have committed with this money already. And I'll give that a quick run through. Lisa, please feel free to chime in since you did most of the work on this. Yeah, and I should note, so when we had done the work to create a handbook for ourselves and kind of spell out the different leadership positions in addition to chair of the commission, one of those was the financial secretary to provide this very report. So I look forward to continuing that in some way, whether it's through me, probably not, or otherwise. But with that said, so we had voted to approve $50,000 for forestry for additional pruning this winter, $150,000 to match the grants fundraised through Sustainability and Resilience, Rebecca, for the electric bucket truck. You may have seen, and maybe we should get to this under old business, but the significant tree registry, the legislation to authorize the contract for the significant tree registry did pass unanimously. And through that, we've committed $50,000 over the course of 2 years to develop, promote, and administrate that initiative. We still owe Tree Pittsburgh an outstanding separate payment of somewhere along $65,000. we've committed, this is something we haven't voted on yet. Pardon me. We've tentatively committed through our priorities $100,000 for the upcoming street tree inventory. We've also voted to increase the salary for our utility arborist from $45,000 to $55,000, in an amount not to exceed $10,000 to make up that. And that is our Mike Kelly, who's housed within forestry, and who we are contributing to 3 years of his salary to be here before Public Works' budget takes that over. So all told, this puts us at about $415,000 of committed funds as it stands currently.
That also doesn't include the Shade Tree Commission specialist that would help us administer some of these projects around the social equity plan. And I think that's still under discussion with the Public Works Director. So if in finance, I believe, in the mayor's office. So if that comes to fruition, then that would also be whatever that salary range was that we committed to. So I think it's important to note that even though it seems like we're sitting on, $500,000, that technically, because there's not a purchase order right now issued, for example, for the electric bucket truck, it has to be earmarked, for lack of a better term, or set aside so that we don't, so that we remember that it's committed funds. I can tell you, out of the $50,000 for the pruning, we just released, I think $30,000 for oak pruning, a contract that would start as soon as the trees are dormant at the end of October, and then we would continue with an additional $20,000 contract come January, whenever when we're able to finish up that pruning. So we're on track for spending the money for the pruning. The bucket truck, from what I understand, is coming to fruition. It just takes a while for something like that to be built. Alicia is correct. We did get the legislation passed so that Tree Pittsburgh invoices will be paid out of that money that was set aside. And then we'll be coming back to visit the inventory in January once we get together with an RFP and kind of get an idea of what we'll be looking at. And I think our intention is that we'll be getting support from partners or maybe grants, because that $100,000 won't cover the full expense of the inventory. And then, of course, Michael Kelly's utility arborist salary that will, carry on for a few more years. So I just, I think it's, I get this all the time, that from like our directors, that you were sitting on this money, but we're technically really not sitting on it. We can't spend it until these things kind of come up, if that makes sense.
That does. Thank you guys both for that explanation and sharing all of the money info. I have a quick question regarding the back pay. Has any of that was put into the wrong account made its way into the right account yet? And has any of the new money from the advertising stuff been put in for the updated quarters?
Well, I think whatever Alicia reported out was the latest, greatest number that we got from Dave Osterman, who handles this account for us. I don't know specifically if that was asked of him, but I mean, we can certainly report that out at the next meeting, unless Alicia knows.
Yeah, I just wanted to note that part of a financial secretary's duties, ones that I have not been able to perform, is getting that line item breakdown. For right now, we have just received the whole dollar amount as the report, but yes to getting a more detailed report for this month. And yes, that is certainly the goal moving forward.
Thank you. And don't diminish it. This is like amazing, because I know in the past few years, we weren't able to find anything out. So pats on the back. Great job. All right. Thank you for that very informative Shade Tree Trust Fund update. And if there is nothing else to add to that, we can go to old business. All right, moving on to old business. Anybody have anything they would like to bring up under this? I will take that as a no.
You know what, pardon me, Kristen, maybe this is a good spot to give a bit of an informative update on our Shade Tree Commission support specialist. We have, similar to the update from last month, we have gone through all of the HR approvals and salary evaluation for this position. Right now it is at the level of our public works director authorizing for the director of our Office of Management and Budget. So we are very close to being able to like literally click post to the city's jobs website, pghjobs.net. And I still have a note that, let's see, of the people who wanted to be potentially part of the interview. Those people, thank you again, is Kristen, Matt Erb, Jim Barry, Rebecca Kiernan, Andrea Ketzel, Lisa Chaffee, Marcel Newman. I'm interested. And then Josiah Gilliam, who also works in the mayor's office and had joined for a couple of meetings. So anything more there? Questions that you may have about that?
That sounds like an overwhelming amount of people in one interview. So you could take me off.
Oh, for sure. I'll take you off, but I also, the way that I see it going is picking the dates and then asking who might be able to join.
Okay. Yeah, we don't want to freak anybody out with 100 people in an interview.
No, it's horrible interviewing with that many people. It
Terrible.
is horrendous.
Step up to the panel. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh. But no, that's really great. And I know that it would be so helpful because I know, capacity is a thing that is talked about constantly. And I am always amazed at what people can get done when they are a one-person show. So please, yay. Hopefully they will approve that stuff soon so we can actually have somebody that does all of these things and you guys don't do it in addition to your other job that also I'm sure you need lots more help for. So then I know under new business, Lisa had, I love that celebration icon. Thank you, Alicia. Lisa had mentioned that she was hoping to ask for some funds to plant some sweet baby trees. So under new business, let's all chat. Matt, you raised your hand, I saw.
Yes, I just wanted to say that Park Rangers already requested funds to plant this site from Tree Pittsburgh. So I hate to duplicate funding, but we have already committed funds to the Park Rangers for this.
The reason why they came to me was because they were told that Tree Pittsburgh could not support them this year. So, there's just some miscommunication. This was as of yesterday at 3:00 when I talked to Ernie. So unless that's changed, that's great if you can support it. So, okay.
Maybe what we can do is find out, and if we need to call a vote, we can do it through email since, we haven't done that yet. And that way those funds can, if Tree Pittsburgh's paying for it, sweet Swiss. And if they aren't able to, then we can send out an email, especially since we're talking about it today, and take an email vote on it should the funds not be able to get there. What would you guys think about that?
Our email voting track record has not been good, so I would, I don't know where the
I would
communication
suggest that we
breakdown
vote
is.
for it, or
I
we
would say that-
consider it today and take a vote and see which way it goes. And if we don't need to spend it, then we don't spend it. But what'll happen is it'll get beyond, if I have to come back in October, it's going to be really tight. So that's what my suggestion would be, just to call a vote and see what kind of support we can get for it.
I think that we can, totally do that vote today and put in the voting, if it all, a little asterisk at the bottom saying if the funds are coming from Tree Pittsburgh, then this is null and void. Would that, I feel like that would satisfy all of the requirements and not get us in trouble.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so I guess I would put forth a motion for the Shade Tree Commission to support up to and not to exceed $1,000 for a fall tree planting program with the city park rangers along with various schools. And this would be in conjunction with the Canopy Alliance community outreach goal for activating school groups and focus them in on environmental issues, hands-on activities, and it also supports our park restoration for an oak wilt site that we've had ongoing plantings throughout several seasons. So that I would basically request consideration for approval up to $1,000, and I will report back if it's not needed.
Matt, do you think that sounds good, right? I think that sounds good. So now we just need somebody to, you know,
I'll make a motion to approve.
Rebecca making the motion. Does anybody want a second?
I'll second. Jamie.
Thank you, Jamie, for seconding.
Thank you.
And we'll just say, does anybody want to go against it? If you do, please raise your hand and then we will say your name. And if not, are the 8 members of the Shade Tree Commission here in support of this possible funding of some trees at Shenley, if the funds are needed? I see some head shaking.
Yep.
I see lots of head shaking. We can do 2 thumbs up. We can bring back, you know, Wayne's World. Party time, excellent. Awesome sauce, guys. All right, it looks like it has gone through unanimously as per if it is needed. That way we can get the funds in and get it done this October.
Kristen, I'm gonna abstain.
With Matt taking an abstain, I don't know how to make that the right verbiage, so bear with me.
Extinction.
You know what I mean. Thank you, Brian. Does that still go through with the
Yeah.
members then? Okay, awesome.
Yeah, as long as it's even if it's an abstention, it still counts as the person voting.
Thank you. Thank you for that. And just to put it in the minutes again, Matt Erb has abstained.
I was thinking it would be called abstinence.
I was totally thinking the same thing, but I didn't want to say it. I already say enough silly things that are, you know, off color and topic. So thank you, Alicia. All right. We have any more new business? All righty then. I'm looking for the next part of that agenda item that doesn't have a number.
Vote to end the
Adjourn.
meeting. Adjourn.
That is correct.
I have another thing. Pardon me. It's Alicia. With the significant tree registry legislation approved and contract on its way to be executed soon, part of that contract includes presenting, the request was for proposals. The proposal that we got back from Tree Pittsburgh did just that, proposed a method for all of this. But as far as when it comes to getting close to launching, we are to receive a presentation from Tree Pittsburgh, and then we would be able to provide feedback and, give 2 thumbs up to what that will look like when it launches. It's going to be great. But as far as, an upcoming agenda item, that will be one.
I think that'll be great. And I know Matt had asked earlier this summer for Danielle to report on the Canopy Alliance, and then, other things came up so that it wasn't able to happen. So Matt, would you feel good about asking Danielle or whomever from your wonderful organization to maybe present that at the October or November meeting? And I'm not trying to get ahead of myself. I know how long things take, and we are in the planting season. So
real quick, Kristen, upon execution of the contract, it was to be within 3 months to present. So
that's awesome. It would just be before this year since we don't have a meeting in December.
Yeah, 2022.
Cool beans.
Or
I
Yeah,
also
sorry.
have something that I forgot. We're working on piloting a new project for habitat in the parks, specifically standing dead trees that can be made safe. So if any of you happen to get eyes on, say, like large dead oak trees on the edges of park property or near clearings or in the woods, that we could get a crew up to and take off any hazard branches to ensure that they're basically just an extra stable version of a telephone pole. We're looking for large diameter things that would be suitable for bird habitat or other animals that cavity nest.
Phillips Park, Phillips Park. Just saying, I know there's a couple of oaks that are right on the edges of the property there that are, you know, on their way out or already dead. So, you know, that's a park that I know that has that. And it's one that I visit every day of my life with my tiny little pony. And I can, you know, help or report or do whatever you guys need in my walking the dog time as I search every day for hickory hornbeam caterpillars this week and last.
Yeah, that's a good idea. We actually are have Phillips on our list to inventory, and we just had to do 2 removals up there for some oak trees that actually had root rot, but they were within the new footprint of the playground area, so they had to be removed from out of there. But I'm sure we could find some candidates that would meet this requirement.
Might be cool to blast that out on our Instagram page. See what we get back.
Great, yeah. We'll probably do that when we do the first tree. We have one candidate already identified. And we've got like nice fancy metal signs and everything.
We're really fancy at Phillips Park. And just because I'm a dreamer and I know if I don't ask, I can never be told no. If we can put in a blue slide that's purple in Phillips Park and make it a purple slide or a gray slide park, that would be awesome. Just saying, not that I would ever use a child slide or anything.
Kristen, you should consider putting that in as a 3-on-1 request to the city, of which are reviewed when it comes to budget season.
I can do that. Thank you.
Mike, for people who may be listening at home or viewing this recording later, is that the best way to bring those to your attention as well? Put something into 3-on-1 as a ticket?
Oh, I don't know about that. It might be best to email us because we don't want to clog up our 311 system even further.
I don't think we've worked out all those quite yet, all those kinds of things. I think he's just announcing that we're looking into that and going to move forward with something, but we will report back once we have a protocol, I guess, for people to call in.
Cool. That's a super cool project. I love it. Just for the record.
Thanks, guys. This has been I'm sure I've been very entertaining, especially to people that don't know me. And I always forget that we're actually public now. So I'm not always like this. Yes, I am. But does anyone else have anything that they may have forgotten about or want to have, you know, on the public agenda and eyes of the Shade Tree Commission September meeting? I'd like to say thanks everybody for being able to get here today. I know that everyone is super duper busy and everything is constantly changing. So it is always a challenge. So thank you. And I appreciate everybody for always communicating when they are or are not able to join us. And go team go. So I guess we'll get back to that. Word begins with A and it ends with an N.
Awesome.
Okay, I guess I'll try again to make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Thank you,
I'll second that
Lisa.
motion. Alicia?
I like that, Rebecca.
Mhm.
All right, so say, you know, ciao to all of you wonderful people. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your week, and I look forward to seeing you all in October. Shoot us an email if you want to add anything that is a more than just the agenda that we have listed there specifically. And thank you all.